Hey, friends, we are fearless. Welcome to the This Fearless Life podcast with your host, Francis Young. Currently, we are in season 5, and I'm creating this little short intro to give you just a momentary backstory on this very special episode, as well as 2 more that will follow within season 5. I have some very fearless and fucking awesome humans in my life. A lot of them are women, whether they're clients, friends, dancers, or my new besties. And I've wanted to have them on my podcast ending of summer, coming into fall, because people just need to hear their stories. People just need to hear that these are humans going about their experience, living life. Then I happen to come in, show them what I do, what I'm obsessed with, what this podcast is about, understanding our energy through the modality of human design and astrology, intertwining it with their health and their life, and my humans realizing, holy shit, I've been living my life the way I'm designed, the way I'm supposed to. I'm going to keep fearlessly going. In this particular episode, I have Kyra Milan with me. I cannot wait to get into our conversation. I'm not going to prelude anything else about her, but the fact that she went into describing herself and her business with the exact same name as my business, and she didn't know the name of my business, you'll see just how exciting this episode really is. Following in this series, you're going to hear from my new bestie this year, as well as someone who's known me longer than my bestie in Winnipeg. Angelica Skinera has known me since I was probably 12 or 13, but she's in another episode coming along. Hey, friends.
Hi.
We are fearless. Welcome to the podcast. This is our first guest podcast of season 5, and we have Kyra Milan.
Hello.
And we are also in Kyra's beautiful home in Toronto, Ontario. I'm just going to dive right in. Kyra, please introduce yourself, and let's see where the rant goes on what you say of who you are.
Okay. First of all, I feel like a cat who's been shaved because I got a flu last week and I've lost my voice.
Lost your voice and it still sounds fantastic.
I'm going to say that I'm a voice coach, but I sound like ass right now. My life's work, actually, truly and seriously, is to help people find their voice and to reveal what has naturally been gifted to them. I think everybody's voices are like presents, and my job is to open them up and give them breath and help them find their authentic self.
Music to my ears. Kyra and mine's first conversation to just actually sort of get to know each other, even though I feel like we've known each other for previous lifetimes.
Yeah.
I have to say that right away.
Yeah.
Even our astrology says that. So, I looked at our synastry.
Wild.
I'll talk about that later.
Okay.
The first conversation that Kyra and I had to get to know each other was in your pool. And I was like, oh my God, I need to have a recorded conversation with you. This is why we are recording it right now.
I think the best creative conversations actually happen in a pool. My partner and I, my singing partner, Tina, she and I did for comedy shows, and we would write them in the pool, floating.
Whoa.
Because you just get into a different playful state, you know? Yeah.
You're just not thinking about it. It's just
No.
a kid doesn't think about when they play. They just play.
But the problem is if you add alcohol, which we did, my husband came down to discover that we were planning to do like a Little Women Christmas Victorian interim show in my house at Christmas with her horse in the backyard. So we're looking around the pool to make sure her horse couldn't kick a hole in the pool. Jim said, my husband said, no more champagne for you.
We're cutting it. Sorry.
Yeah. You might need to cut this. Okay, I'll get back on track.
It's all right. Sometimes it just all goes in and people just have a fun time with it. You're a voice coach. Now, in order to get to doing this with your life, let's do a little backstory because just so people know how I met Kyra was doing flamenco.
Yep. Growing up as a kid, I did many forms of dance. I did piano. I was in a professional children's choir. And I had a terrible singing voice. Terrible, terrible. But
Wow.
when I was 17, I didn't want to give up any of my arts. So I went to theater school and I decided intellectually to become an opera singer. I was going to have a lover in every city. This was my life goal.
Yes.
Did this happen? Not really. But anyway.
It's a bit.
Right. So when I came back, I studied in Paris after university. I came back and I started working for the Canadian Opera Company, which is a big opera company in Toronto, as an educator. I started doing like directing workshops for them and directing their youth training programs. And then they actually had me write interactive opera comedy shows that I would take into schools and then do at the Four Seasons Center every year. I started really standing on the fulcrum of inviting people to find their voice through the lens of opera. And then when I was teaching at home, I was doing it privately. Then that rolled into really loving collaborative creation. I founded a musical theater school to teach kids how to find their voice through writing their own work. Everything I've ever done has been always about sharing the joy of finding your voice and getting people singing, but in different platforms, just because I'm a creative and I like to do different things.
Yeah, you're like, I see no box. I see only sky and limitlessness of what I want to create and how I want to empower others to create whatever they want to create.
The other piece of that was I had so much fear as a young person. I was the most uptight, anal, controlling, fearful being. I don't recognize that person anymore. Having to grow through that fear was really what I was working on as I was teaching people. When I was in my 20s was how to overcome fear. I made that a main core of all the things I was teaching to tell myself while I was also telling people to give them permission to overcome their fear. I was not a fearless person, like at all. I was a big chicken.
Since I've known you, I'm like, oh my God, I want to be Kyra. Like, I kid you not. I kid you not. Since I've met you, which has now only been a year.
Yeah, a year. We danced together for a year.
We've danced together for a year. But all of a sudden, I'm like, I need to be around this woman. She knows.
That's so nice.
So nice. Legit.
Not sure. I do think being 52 is a gift for me because you do get some wisdom, right?
Right.
And you realize my new saying is like, what would my 95-year-old self would say? What would she say in this situation? And she would say, who gives a shit what they think? They're all dead.
They're all dead. It doesn't matter.
It makes it very simple.
That's what she probably would say.
She'd be a total badass. That's what I'm hoping to be at 95.
You will be, even more than you already are. In this moment, I have to say as well, there are sometimes right now in my life of just especially the women that are around me right now. I have women like yourself. I have some clients that are like very high level in their jobs and have been promoted since I've known them. I'm seeing all these people succeed. And I'm like, in the back of my head, what would Emily say? What would Kyra say? What would these people do?
So lovely.
I'm trying to evolve to this next level of myself, wherever that is in my work, life, etc. But like other women that have trudged potentially the same type of scenario I've been in, whether it's a romantic connection, just something with a family member, like what would they do? Okay, I'm going to try to embody the energy of fearlessness, of not giving a shit, because we've all been through something similar.
Yeah, I think fearless means you're facing your fear. I don't think it means you're without fear to me, right?
Yeah.
Like courage, or I should say courage. I should ask you what fearless means to you. What does fearless mean to you?
That's it. Thank you for asking that question. As my business is also called the Fearless Project.
Okay.
Did you know that?
No.
That's amazing that before this moment, you did not know that. Side note for everyone re-listening of realizing my business is called The Fearless Project.
All right, there you go.
I actually created that business name prior to knowing about human design and just where I'm at for how I present myself as a trainer and healer as a whole. What does fearless mean to me? That was the question, correct?
No.
Okay. Yeah. Knowing that you have the fear, doing it anyway. This is actually, it will somewhat quote actually my human design teacher, the woman that I've learned from. Doing your life the way that you would secretly rather be doing it. That is what being fearless means to me. What fearless, I think, can mean to humans is knowing that there's still going to be something that comes up every day, or that I just don't want to go to the gym, whatever, something of a block that's giving us a situation to deal with, that's causing us to pause and saying to ourselves, we're going to do it anyway. We're going to show up anyways. You said the word courage, which I think is all wrapped into we're just going to go for it. What else does fearless mean to me? We could just say the Nike quote of just do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's something more powerful to embodying and understanding what it feels like when you start spiraling up on realizing that you're going to come across the same fear, just in a different type of scenario, even though it'll still potentially energetically feel the same in your body. At least I've noticed that for me lately.
Eleanor Roosevelt said, you have to do the thing you think you cannot do.
Yeah.
Right? These barriers we put in front of ourselves are keeping us from having, even if it's hardship, learning, right? Yeah. Or growth or something, or incredible joy.
Exactly.
Where you exceed your own expectations, right?
Yeah. I feel like I'll have the exact question that I'm going to ask you next, because it's articulating the back of my brain. And now I totally lost my train of thought.
Did I interrupt you? I'm so sorry. This is like menopause. I feel so seen.
Yeah.
I feel so seen because I'll be mid-sentence and all the nouns will fall to the bottom of a lake, never to be retrieved again. And I'll be like, fuck it, change the topic. Okay, everybody, synchronized swimming. Talk amongst yourselves. I have no idea where I am. It's humbling. That's the other thing about getting older.
Yeah.
The other wisdom that comes is you also are like, have you heard the We Do Not Care Club? The women who are just like, I'm menopausal. I'm going through so much stuff. I just don't care. It's a great club to join.
I don't know about this, but I feel like I should.
It's an element of fearlessness. It's just like dealing with what is.
Just
You're not
dealing
going to
with
worry
what
what
fear.
people think.
Now I know what I was going to talk about. Expectations. I've been dealing with a lot of personal growth in the past year about understanding my need, understanding the values that I uphold for myself, my needs and my values, how I say them to others, how I uphold them for myself, because I do know what these things are now. It's taken some time. We're now not even mid-30s, but I'm established in who I am and what I like to do. This is at least what I have noticed so far from 30 to 33, which has been a big learning curve. And then now on top of that, I'm learning how to, okay, this is the thing I'm working towards, but I'm still going to leave it up to the greater energy of the world, universe, and not trying to expect exactly the thing that I think I'm supposed to get or where I want to go, just also letting it be.
That's actually, that's part of Buddhist training as well, which is you're training not to worry about the outcome.
Yes.
Not to be attached to the outcome.
Been dealing with a lot of, yes, the surrender. I am the spiritual person that does not like all the spiritual words of manifestation, of how 21st century society has been like, well, if you write it down, you're going to get it. And I'm like,
that's accusatory, isn't it?
Yeah.
And also simple.
Yeah.
Simplistic, maybe is the word. Yeah. So I have a question about your human design, because this is something you mentioned in the pool.
Yeah.
Does your human design help guide you in being more fearless?
How it guides you is by affirming to yourself that the ways in which you do your life, how you do things fearlessly for you, is the way that you should be doing it. It allows you to remove the second guessing. It allows you to remove the, oh, but somebody on the internet said that I should do it this way.
Right. So it's a framework of sorts, right?
Exactly.
Like a personal framework.
Exactly.
Okay.
Not all parts of our design will resonate with us at the times that we learn it.
All right.
To give a little bit of nerdiness to something I haven't mentioned about human design to you yet, is that the gentleman that downloaded it, Ra-Ahu, I hopefully said his name.
Can I say that name?
Yeah.
Ra-Ahu. Ra-Ahu. It's almost like a sneeze. Ra-Ahu. I'm sorry. I hope I'm not insulting this person. You have to cut this out now. That's such a great name.
It's unfortunate.
Like there's just so many good vowels in there. Anyway, let's keep going.
It's beautiful. You made it sound so much better. He has unfortunately passed away.
Okay.
However, so I don't think he'll be offended.
Okay, sorry.
Maybe somebody in human design.
I may have some
who
later
cares?
in the afterlife.
We'll both go up to him and be like, how's it going? Anyways, so when he created the system and told people about it, he was like, this is also going to take us 7 years to what is called decondition. Society, how we grow up, just what is passed down from generations as new humans are born. We believe that life should be lived a certain way, or we are taught to live life a certain way. When we are told what human design is, when we learn our own design, and if people start to go down enough rabbit holes of trying to live like their design or live more authentically themselves, use that language, it is meant to take, in air quotes, 7 years.
To find that path.
To find that path to fully live and feel like I am
connected to this framework or
Connected to this
your
framework.
beingness or
100%.
Okay.
And feeling like all of the ways in which we are designed to listen to our body as opposed to what our brain is trying to tell us what to do, is ultimately what human design is also saying, is that our body is the one that's driving us. Our mind is the one that's creating.
Okay.
We will get into your creative talk soon.
Yeah.
Yes. Our body is the one running the show. The body is the one that says, go right on the street, as opposed to our mind being like, oh, I think I should take this way because the traffic and our body's just like, no, just do that. It's apparently meant to take 7 years.
Well, 7's a magic number. First of all, it's my favorite number. Also, when I looked back on my life, I realized that all the businesses I had built within arts education lasted 7 years.
What
Like,
also?
like 7-year cycles, I should say. Every 7 years, I built a new thing that I needed to grow in. Like when I wrote a show, an opera comedy show, that was a 7-year enterprise. And the reason why I did it looking back was to really face fear and to be heard. That was very important for me. So I did that for 7 years. And then I did something else.
And your birthday's also on the 17th of the month. There's sevens everywhere. Just so you know. Yeah.
It's true.
When I was like, oh, that's so amazing, but 7's for you. With human design, it's the thing that gives you the little cheat sheet of saying, this is how you are. This is how you were born. In the moment that we are born, we are the most perfect. We are the most untouched by the world because we've just entered it.
We're potential.
Exactly. And so human design says this is the potential of that moment. Just go listen to this in this way. And we will be amazed beyond our years as to what this being of this generator, this manifester, which we don't know quite yet what will come out of them. But if they're living in this way from the moment that they're born, I mean, we don't even know what will happen when we're all living our design yet. We don't even know, because that's how magical we all are from that moment. But it's the rest of our world, our society, how we grow up that's got us ping-ponging off in potential different directions, that has got us all upset in different ways.
So Ra-Ahu would see, if people were born and living to their design, what would be the ultimate utopic viewpoint that he would have of the result of that? Like, what is the result?
That's a great question. I bet you he didn't even know, because we're in such a world and have been since humans began to walk around and be humans, that's been constructed to evolve to create mass, because 1800 to 1900s, there was how much industrialization. Energy has gotten humans to a point where now we're so evolved, we're scared of the next piece because we've gotten so far. We're also worried about the planet not being here. So we've got these two things that are like, okay, well, now what? And now a lot of structure has to fall. To side note, to say into this, there's a lot of astrological energy and energy of time of life that the humans that are living right now, we've actually got some of the hardest journey at the moment in order to precursor into helping individuals live so individually, because we have a society that's built in so many different structures, so many different religions. Now human design is here to say, you do you, boo. And that's actually going to create the society that is going to help us go into this next energetic evolution of life and how to deal with the planet and all these things. But if we're still too much in these societies and trying to listen to others, we're not going to make it.
So, okay. So if, and like someone with me, like with someone with me, there's menopause talking. That moment was brought to you by menopause. You're welcome. With someone like me and the things I've done, you said that you think I'm a generator.
Yeah.
Okay.
Initially, I thought you were a manifester.
I did too, because things just kind of happen.
Yeah.
Imagine them, but who knows?
I mean, so we'll get into the whole piece about you being a generator. Now of having it even recorded of just you saying in such a short, beautiful, concise way of the things that you do, of helping people find their authentic voice with joy. This is literally what a generator is put on the planet to do.
Well, thank you. I'm so glad that I'm on a sort of path that makes sense.
Yeah. Generators are just meant to be here to be joy. Now we're going to get like super human design talk, everyone.
Amazing.
And Kyra is a generator just like myself.
Yep.
We're both going to vibe on the generatorness of this.
Okay.
When I teach someone human design, I talk about the 3 basics. I have talked about generator the most to you, but I haven't talked about any other parts of your design. Generator is joy. That's it. When you
makes
Google
total
generate
sense.
design,
That makes total sense.
what's the Pixar film that's all the emotions?
Yeah.
What's it called again?
The movie was called Inside Out.
Picturing joy from inside out. Everyone,
Mhm.
most humans can understand that kind of like,
Yeah, that's me. I had to dim that sometimes because it irritated people.
so this is the thing now.
Yeah, and I'm not talking like toxic positivity. It was just like, well,
No.
you're happy. I'm like, sorry.
But we should never be sorry
Yeah.
for being happy. This is
All the time, obviously.
Oh
Not all
my
the time
God.
because that's not real.
no.
But a sort of a buoyed sense of,
This
joy all the
jumping,
time.
like kind of buoyant when generators are doing the thing that they love. When
Mhm.
you don't have to be an artist like us, but like
Mhm.
you're just even when I eat something I like, I fidget. My energy is peaking, being like, "Yep, you like this."
Yeah.
I've even done that since I was a kid.
Oh.
Yeah.
I find when I'm teaching, I know it's my path because there's a reciprocal energy to it. I'm most myself. I get energized by it. It's joyful, even if I'm just deeply listening and saying nothing. I feel like dancing happens. Like I make weird jokes. Thank God my teenagers they have no idea how weird I am. They will when they leave the studio and they go to university, they'll be like, man, that woman was weird.
But she taught me so much.
Right, yeah.
These teachers I've had have been my most favorite in life. Now, thinking back of even like high school teachers.
I think it's just a sense of humor comes from joy.
Mm.
I do know comedians that come from rage and depression, but you can have a sense of humor that comes from joy as well.
100%. Generators are just joyful. We just are sunshine and rainbows. In human design, there's something that's called not self.
Oh.
It is a feeling that our body gives us.
Mhm.
Every out of the 5 types, we all have our own not self. And generators is frustration. We literally contract. Our energy wants to like,
That's so interesting.
yeah. How does that feel? Me saying that out loud.
That's interesting because I don't like conflict and I find it very frustrating because I don't always know how to resolve it or I just don't like the feeling of it. So that's something that, yeah, I'm frustration for sure. I haven't felt frustrated in a while, but
That's awesome.
I don't like that feeling. Maybe no, that's not true. I've been frustrated with a certain person in my life who's in a grouchy mood today. Who? Husband. Don't be mentioned. That's fine. Which is totally understandable. He's allowed. But yeah, so frustration. Yeah, I tend to ruminate when I'm frustrated. I can't, it's sticky.
Yeah,
I can't let it go.
Up.
So that's the thing.
Yep.
Yeah, I tend, and he tells me that too. He's like, you're ruminating. I'm like, I know. I'm so sorry. Interesting.
When our energy's like that, even I've realized this about myself. Even I don't want to be around myself. I'm like,
That's hard to leave. I know. You know what's another really sticky one is shame.
Yeah.
Shame is, I think, the worst feeling.
Shame for a generator and just like relating it to human design is something that I feel when we get into nuances about certain things, something that we share in our design is we are called non-emotionals.
Really?
In human design, I think it's a bit of a sick joke because there are humans that are non-emotionals and there are humans that are emotionals. But the non-emotionals are actually more emotional.
Okay, well, I'm confused.
I know.
Okay, I'm confused.
This is why I call it the sick joke. It's because we have a certain level of empathy that's like 10 times what the emotional human experiences.
Yeah.
So we are feeling ours.
And there's, no, that
You
makes
immediately, I was like, I knew you were going to get it.
No, that
So
makes,
when we throw shame into that
yeah.
and what shame, and for me to like put it into a sentence is something that, I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still ruminating on frustration because that's sticking in my brain right now. One thing I will say too is that I've, in a way, over time constructed my life that I'm not in situations where, for example, I would end up frustrated on a regular basis. I took over an arts organization for a year when the ED and the music arts director was on leave because it was the pandemic, and I was on a board. And I'm like, I'll help. It's stupid because I was just stupidly optimistic. So I took over a struggling arts organization. Nonprofit. I'll just say nonprofit. Anyway, because that says enough.
Everybody understands that.
The frustration I had of the oppressive sort of situation of trying to manage an arts organization during a pandemic, online, everything was new, dealing with new staff, dealing with all the difficulties that comes from a board and all these varying needs. I didn't have the experience of how to manage that. I was only there for a year, thank goodness. But the level of frustration that I experienced with systems and red tape and all of the extra stuff, I couldn't just do what I wanted to do because I'm like stubborn that way.
Very Aries son of you.
That I know I'm really incorrigible that way. I would not play well with others in like a bureaucracy situation. I wouldn't. So this is why being self-employed works for me. So
100%.
maybe I've just eradicated all frustration. maybe I need to go learn how
Well-
to deal with frustration.
I mean, I think at certain levels of our life, we're going to be given as a generator, whichever type we are, a certain level of frustration, but we are actually designed to fully be in our self mode, which is satisfaction. It's lying down on our pillow at the end of the day and being like, that was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And then go to sleep.
Yeah, actually, most of my days I go, I am really, really like, what a great day this was. Even if shitty things happen, I'll be like, I'm really glad the support I needed showed up when I needed it. Or, you know, I really actually have worked to reframe my brain. Again, not sort of toxic, ignoring the real stuff, but just to reframe things going, well, we all suffer, right?
Yeah.
We all suffer.
Yeah.
But in my suffering on that day, a friend showed up at the right time and actually gave me a modality that I needed to help me get through it. So even then, I'll come to the end of the day and go, I'm so grateful I'm alive.
Yeah.
You know,
That's really what
grateful.
this whole thing is about, of us just malingering around and being like, okay, so what's going to come up? Can I deal with this? Nope. Is something going to help me? Maybe. Like that literally is life to a T. And I actually love that you said that. So thank you for saying it.
Well, you know, and to give ourselves grace, right? Number one, give yourself grace because we all struggle and we all have suffering and it's not all happy all the time. But secondly, as Ram Dass says, we're all just walking each other home. So look for ways when you're feeling really low to help others because that can get you out of your brain.
100%.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I already managed that situation. Now it's already done. So we know that you're a generator.
Okay.
We know that there is this not self frustration. When we're frustrated, you worked in that nonprofit for a year and then you were out. You had so much frustration, what alone life will brought you so much frustration. You're like, I have to stop that. If generators don't stop things that keep frustrating them, they'll get sick. Something will happen to them. Put in X thing of trying to stop you in your path so you don't do that thing will happen.
Guess what happened? I was working my full-time job and running this organization with a few other people. And I was so out of my depth and overwhelmed. And it was hard because we were dealing with kids who were in lockdown and were saying, and it was brutal. At the end of the year, I had a major concussion from being on the computer. And I learned the most important lesson that I needed to learn at that time was compassionate boundaries for myself. I had a hero complex. I thought I could do 2 jobs at once. That was not a very good idea. So I learned a really big lesson, right? I mean, we go through this stuff. We go, okay, I'm not going to sign up for 2 full-time jobs again because that was dumb. And living in a situation that's impossible, like running a nonprofit during a pandemic that's art-based, that's a stupid idea.
For being a fellow artist, we don't even have to go like down that moment.
No.
So many other great light bulbs are going off in my head. Now that I looked at your design today and hearing you speak about your life, I'm like, this makes so much sense.
Okay, tell me how it makes sense.
2 specific things we're going to talk about that are just like out of the 3 basics of learning our design. And then we'll go deep about your design.
Okay, man. Let's do it.
The thing that then each energy type in human design has is a strategy. How does a generator go out on the street and do life? That's what strategy is in human design. And so ours is generators. And because we're both non-emotional, is just called responding. It's just, okay, I see the thing in front of me. I'm going to do that thing.
Yes. And I'm so much better doing that than sitting and going, I'm going to create a thing. It's more in response to other things. That's what happens. It's not that I fall into things, but things happen or doors open. I'm like, okay, I'll walk through. And then I'll have an idea of how I can grow it bigger. But it's not that I sit here in a dry room going, I'm going to make something out of nothing. It's more that I have a need to be heard. I'm going to create a show. It's that, right? It's
so interesting to hear you say this. One piece for me in my fitness career so far and thinking about how do I become the next thing in human design? How do I become the best trainer? Our self-help world teaches us you need to meditate, you need to be alone, you need to figure this out and then go do life.
which is very intellectual
It's actually the exact
and
opposite.
detached.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I have such a disdain for that vibe now. No, humans just go out and go down the street.
Yeah. I say this to my kids. I'm like, get outside. Magic always happens.
Yes.
Always. Every time you leave the house.
Yeah.
Did I leave the house today? No. But you'll see something in nature or you'll run into a person or you'll observe something and it'll inform you and enrich you, being responsive to it. Also being open and not being resistant. If you're in a resistant state towards change, you contract as well. If you can be in a curious state, then things inform you. They come to you. You'll see it.
Yeah.
Right?
They literally do. So those 2 things we get. Then the third piece is the piece that we were chatting about earlier about just like our body is meant to be the driver of where we go. And our brain is the one that gets to create and see and experience. It's this passenger consciousness is the words that they call it in human design land.
What does that look like? I want to go there.
Maybe it's just Ibiza right now and then it'll expand. Ibiza is the birthplace of human design.
Really?
Just so you know.
Ibiza, okay.
Yeah. But
Ibiza, like Ibiza?
yeah.
Oh, I thought you said a piece of pizza. Like, I want to go there too.
I want to go there too. A place that is just filled with pizza. For both of us, also because we're non-emotionals, that is our gut authority. The word is authority in human design. We can also say intuition, but I don't like cross-referencing those words because in human design, intuition can be in lots of different places in the body.
Interesting.
Somebody that said, just trust your gut, definitely would have had to have been a generator.
Interesting, yeah.
Because physiologically in our body, it's also our gut, our sex organs, and everything basically below our stomach.
Well, you know what? I ask my body questions all the time, every day. And guess what?
Yeah.
Guess what? So this didn't start until I started getting really into Zen meditation 4 years ago. I realized my body actually would respond. So if I would ask my body a question, and so far I think body hasn't lied. Yeah, no, body's saying no.
It doesn't.
So I'll say something like, should I do this? Or for example, if I'm feeling sick, I'll be like, is this a hot flash or am I dying? Or do I have a cold? Do I need to rest? Do I need to work? Can I teach today? And my body will go, no. And I'll feel this like vibration low in my pelvis. And if it's yes, I feel a surge that comes up. I'm like, okay.
You literally also just described what happens to a generator. When a generator asks themselves these very specific questions, these have yes, no answers.
Yeah.
If it's a no, it'll feel low.
It'll go,
and if it's a high, it's like,
yeah, exactly. That's exactly how I move through the world.
Also, everyone knows I have not had a conversation with you more like, okay, so this is the second time we've had an in-depth conversation.
Life. Yeah.
Because we just dance next to each other and just feel the awesome vibes between us.
Totally.
I know we did.
You should see this woman dance. Oh my God. Fire. Fire, fire, fire.
Thank you.
It's amazing.
We both are together, and I can't wait until we're both on stage in the Cane piece. I feel like literally we're going to blow the roof off of that theater. Anyways, that's a side tangent of us just getting excited.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
You're confirming all of the things of human design by your life experience. I am in this moment, I feel just adding to the knowledge of this is a system that you have already figured out without realizing it.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Because I was a total dick before.
Really?
In my teens. Oh my God. No. You know what? Coming back to really becoming myself, right? More authentic. And that word is also overused. My God, I need to know next lexicon. But feeling fully myself and permission to feel fully myself and feel safe to feel fully myself has been something that's come in the last literally 5 years. It was because working through some stuff and working through grief and working through stuff that was stuck in the body. I'm a Zen Buddhist. I meditate almost every day. That has been an incredible gift in emptying. To be able to hear what the body's saying, to be able to be in the moment and be non-reactive, to have some tools of self-awareness of what my brain likes to do and not do. Anyway, so I think it's new is what I'm saying.
I love that for you.
Yeah.
It feels like it's been in a very embodied state for only knowing you for a year. From coming from someone who hasn't seen this other version of Kyra.
The dick Kyra, 17-year-old.
And then now seeing this version of you and this chapter of your life already, I'm like, I just need to be more like Kyra.
No, you got to be more yourself, man. But
more myself, but like, what would Kyra do? So now,
probably say something inappropriate.
Yeah,
that's what I would do.
Definitely.
I try not to in dance class, but sometimes I can't help myself. Oh my God, or I just get giddy. It's problematic.
I think the two of us should be the ones to shake up people a little bit. We should shake up Val a little bit because I know she wants to be a little more rowdy sometimes.
Really? Oh, I love her so much.
And we're going to get deep into some things about your design. Right. The first thing I really want to talk about is actually something that is particular about creativity, about just to say these amazing, okay, two things. What are the first two important things that have to come out about your design? My body told me. Cool. Is that where the sun is when we are born helps to show us one of many important gifts that we are given when we are born to help bring to life through whatever it is we do, whether it's teaching, whether it's how we parent our kids. The universe does not compartmentalize our gifts to this should only be your work. This should only be, this is how you use this thing. So yours, all of our gifts in what I'm going to particularly talk about right now are presented as numbers. There are 64 numbers on a human design graph. They actually all correlate to, yes,
they do.
Our DNA.
That makes sense. Yes.
I
love numbers.
It makes sense
Yeah.
because there are 32 pairs of DNA. There is a number of 6 days that will be where the sun is when we are born.
Hmm.
And you have number 3.
Well, there we go. Aristotle's favorite number, by the way.
Oh,
Yeah.
that I didn't know.
Hmm.
All of these gifts have names and they all have a vibe. So 3 is actually called innovation.
No way.
I mean, I can show it
I
to
love
you.
that. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
When you spoke to me about innovation is you talking about how you have basically because I'm removed from your life. This is how I see it.
Mm-hmm.
You have created innovation on how to teach students how to sing,
Mm-hmm.
how to create production, how to create something from nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Again, what I see from the outside of your life in many different ways, through creating your own school program, through creating your own shows.
Mm-hmm.
I just literally see innovation in all aspects of your life, of at least on the work side.
It gives me the most joy. Aside from teaching, collaborative creation is the state of mind that I think is the highest for me, where I really feel on fire when I have those moments of aha. I try to build community with my studio and I try to create a safe environment. So last year I was like, how can I do that? I have a bunch of new students coming in. So I invited all 40 students to put on a piece of paper anonymously what singing meant to them and how it transformed them. And then I put them in that box and I gave that box to one of my students who's a composer. And I said, please write this into an anthem for our song nights, because I invite students to come here once a month to sing for each other. And so he put everyone's words into a song. And then on the first night, I wrote everyone's poetry or phrases all around the house like a gallery. I invited everybody to walk through and see what other people had said about singing. And then we taught them the anthem, and that's how we started the year. Right? Because that's more fun than saying, let's get to know each other.
You just innovated the best new community night and you didn't even know.
That was because it's more fun.
And because you wanted to.
Because it's more fun.
Yeah.
It's like, one of my friends, Bruce, a longtime friend, he's actually kind of my second husband, Bruce McCullough. He's a
husband.
Yeah. He's one of the kids in the hall, and he's a filmmaker and all those things. And he says to me always, he's like, what's the most fun way you can do something? Do that.
Mm.
So that's what's fun. That's juicy, right? Like, how can I make this fun?
How can I make this exciting?
Yeah.
And juicy. Juicy is a very generator word.
Come in obliquely and not be like on the nose about it. Sometimes I can be on the nose, but just to say, okay, guys, come wander through the house and let's look at what singing means to each other. And let's write an anthem about it. And all artists do this stuff. This is nothing new, but it's just my favorite state of being is what I'm saying.
Your take on that, this makes you feel alive.
Yeah. Yeah.
One thing is, it's not a part of your human design, but it's a part of your astrology, because I also do those things too. Pluto is in your first house. Anyone that I see.
Who let him in?
I mean.
Did he ask?
Who knows? He just stepped right in. Pluto just like creeps up. You don't know.
Okay.
It doesn't matter what your rising sign is. If Pluto is in your first house, you are a human that just transforms life, because Pluto is the planet of transformation, let alone change and
Very cool.
creation, destruction, because it's the last planet. He's just kind of like rams his way in there. It's a very powerful human. So to even put that into the creative essence of you having 3 and innovation as where the sun is the most prominent energy when you are born.
That's interesting. So innovation and transformation. Transformation's a big, big, big one. Definitely. Definitely. There have been moments, I know, looking at the ecology of my family and going, oh man, I really wish we could be different in certain ways. For example, nobody in my house wanted to work out ever. So we went in the last 4 years from no one working out except me to all 4 of them now. Like, my son has a very serious martial arts practice. My firstborn works out at the gym and then has a trainer, and my husband does yoga 3 days a week. These were kind of things that had to be shifted. And it may not seem like a big success, but when you have people who don't want to change.
That's massive.
It was like changing the ecology of a house. It takes energy.
Yeah.
And in my family, with the level of resistance, it took a long time. But that we have transformed as a family in a lot of ways. That's just one of them.
This is like the moment of realizing, like, holy shit, Kyra is the like literal transformer of her family, let alone is the innovator. This is the cool thing about human design, in that it literally, when we like go to what it says and we look at someone's life. Now, this is the kind of like sad, hilarious truth. If we were not living our design at all correctly, we'd be dead.
Okay.
So
not that.
Everyone is clearly living their design to some extent correctly. That's what I like to try to tell people. You don't have to hack your whole life. You're doing it right. You're alive. but where can you tweak in these certain ways? But like you innovating your life in literally every circumstance, being this different family at this point of stage of the, okay, we're going to get everyone moving. How do we do? It's okay. It doesn't matter how long it takes, but you literally innovated that in an awesome, cool way that each person in the household feels the most themselves doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. We have 2 of the members of my family are on the autism spectrum. So there was a lot of physical discomfort and a lot of resistance around doing that. And I'm super proud that they have found the thing that they love and they're sticking to it.
Yeah.
I'm excited about it, which is good.
That's even more awesome. I can't wait to know what their designs are. That's the nerd of me right now. All the things that I can say is that there is also in human design something called life theme.
Oh, okay.
Life theme in human design is what we can also say is purpose.
I know what my purpose is. Can I say what it is?
Please.
Or should I keep listening?
No, you should say it and then we'll see what it says.
I've always said, I started teaching dance when I was a kid, like a teenager. I've been teaching singing since I was 23. I came back from Europe, ready to start my career and sleep with everybody in Europe, which didn't happen. But I sang a recital and this woman came up to me and fate handed me my career. She said, I'm leaving the country. I want you to take my studio of teaching. I didn't know her from anywhere. She was just a person in an audience. And I didn't have a job. So I literally had to get my license, buy a car in 3 weeks to take this job in Mississauga. I started teaching, just kind of like figuring it out. And that's been now, do the math, 29 years. And it's definitely my life's purpose because everything I've done has come from the fulcrum of helping people not experience the level of fear and technical issues I did vocally and to help find their voice in a way that's playful and safe. So that's my life's purpose has come from my biggest struggle.
Interesting. Now, there's 2 points that are going to be perfect about this. I'm closing my eyes because I'm going to make sure that I get them both in my brain so I don't lose them. We'll also get to try in some astrology to this. Okay, there's 3 things. Sorry. This is how my brain works, folks. If this were to be a reading for Kyra and I'm like doing a human design, we're talking about whatever about life, I literally compartmentalize. These are the things I need to say of what comes up from what the human says.
I'm the human.
Yeah, Kyra. Okay. To say what your life purpose is from what, picking up your graph says, you say that from getting over my biggest fear, creating my assurance in myself of the things that I've been through, I'm going to teach somebody else. This is the short form of what it says, and then I'm going to extrapolate. So Kyra's life theme, to figure out the laws you want to live by and stick firm to them. My brain extrapolates and says, I'm now like, this is Kyra's body, Kyra brain saying, this is something I've been through. This is something I need to and feel compelled to teach as to how to then also get through this thing. I am going to create a new way of doing it, innovation, a new law, this is what I stand for because I've been through this and I don't want anybody else to go through this.
Yeah.
So I'm going to stick to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're doing your purpose. One of the questions that I disliked the most as a teen and coming into early adulthood is I felt a lot of pressure of, what are you going to do now?
Yeah. I think I reframed that question. Somebody asked me once, she said, don't think about what you're going to do, is how do you want to live? And what I like about that is it can reframe you to sit more on your sort of sense of integrity and what you're passionate about and what drives you and what you're healing in yourself. Right. So for me, it was, my voice wasn't what I wanted it to be. A lot of my personality, like the voice is the audible projection of the soul. The voice is the audible projection of self. So when you're having issues with your voice, like I am today, because it's friggin' flu, it is usually because of tension or because of ideas or identities that are not working for you and your voice, right? To create up. So instead of thinking what you want to do, if you come from a place of what do I love to do? When am I most myself? And what is the thing I'm passionate about because I struggled with it? Right? I think those are useful things.
100%. And I don't think kids are taught how to think about their life in that way, or at least I was not brought up that way, even though I love my parents. But it's a different way as to which I think a certain evolution of humans in today's day and age is, this is how I create all of these things as to how I want to have a life this way, as opposed to sticking to things that looked successful because a certain level of humans achieved success in said way.
Yeah.
I bring that up to say because human design, and when it talks about purpose, is very, I'll tell you mine and you'll think it's hilarious. I didn't realize that my life did all of these things, but was so linked to my purpose, just like yours is, for what it says, is that our purpose is just to be here and experience, to be a soul having a human experience, walking around, getting to do human things, because that's cool. Purpose doesn't have to be the way in which we're conditioned to think is
a
purpose.
capitalist kind of ideal.
Exactly.
Yep.
And how to even think about it that way. So my purpose in human design is in the short form. It goes to speak about what I am most passionate about and see how it sparks something in someone else. And literally to just do it on that day. If I'm talking about the food I am excited about from the weekend I ate, it goes spawns somebody else to go get that thing, to go potentially meet a person, to go potentially get a job. It's actually insane for the things that I've realized now that have transpired after now knowing that as well, how my life has moved forwards. That if you told a purpose, just go talk about the thing you're excited about and see where it goes, that kid's going to run with that and go have the most fun life ever.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that also comes down to, you can't control how you're going to impact people, but you do impact people everywhere you go. And it could be as subtle as you're pursuing something, and the fact that somebody sees that you're passionate about something and that a human being can be like that opens up opportunity.
100%.
Right? Yeah.
Now I'm going to go into this other moment of making sure that I talk about this one topic, and then we'll see where else we go. I don't even know what time we're on here.
I have no idea. We love you for staying on this long.
We love you for following our rants about talking about human design and life and just coincidences, awesomeness. Anyways, to now go on a bit of an astrology rant, you are a Libra rising, Scorpio moon.
Okay.
And I'll tell you what that means in a second.
Okay.
And an Aries sun. Where the sun was when you were born is an Aries season.
Okay.
So spring. Where the sun was over the horizon, or just related to the time of day, it was Libra. That was the zodiac sign, which is also, my mom is a Libra rising.
No.
Funny enough. And then where the moon was in the cycle of the 12 zodiac signs was Scorpio. To paint a picture on that, you initially bringing up earlier on that you dislike confrontation.
Yes, I know.
We're currently in Libra season. FYI, while we record this, which I think is cool.
I could never be a lawyer. I could never be a litigator.
Libras do make really good lawyers.
I would be so uncomfortable if I was trying to,
Yeah.
No.
I also avoid confrontation, but that shows other things in my chart anyways. Libras, we want balance all the time. We are the people that are trying to just ebb and flow and figure out how to keep the status quo.
Equilibrium, right? Equilibrium. Yeah. Which is a fallacy. There's no such thing.
No.
Change is constant.
It's always going to be this. That's what Libra doesn't like. It's like, I want it to balance.
Yeah.
Scorpio moons are just Scorpio placement anywhere. I have my best friend is a Scorpio sun. They're just so deep. What our moon is in our astrology, it represents our emotional body capacity, what we like, what we don't like about emotion. A Scorpio moon is like, I want it deep all the time. I want to understand. I want to transform emotion. And for you, I'm interested to see how this resonates. It very much in the second house, because Libra is first house, Scorpio is the season after Libra season. I think it's interesting that you are a singer and the moon is in the second house. We're going to get real nerdy here, folks, in a second. Second house in astrology, and also relating it to the body, is related to the throat. And singing is all about emotion.
It's also all about unlocking the throat.
Yeah.
And that, honestly, it wasn't until I did a show last summer that I actually embraced the last piece of anxiety in my throat. And it showed up like this. I was practicing. I had 3 shows in a week. And I sang well in the first show, but a lot of tension in my throat showed up, which created phlegm. So I was feeling upset. And then I got a message in my mind that someone was going to harm me on my last show, that I had to be careful. I had to bring someone to guard me off stage so that I would be safe, because someone would come and I would be harmed within the first couple phrases of my show. And I was like, spiraling in my brain going, is this intuition? What is this? What's going on? So I kept practicing. So I was like, it's probably bullshit. Anyway, what it was is I would ask myself questions because, sometimes you entertain these crazy ideas. And my mind said, he will be dressed in blue. And I thought, oh my God, something's going to come and do something bad. And I couldn't get details. I just said to my son, could you please stand beside the stage with me? And he's like, Mom, this is just your brain. I'm like, I know, but just do it anyway.
Just do it. I don't care.
So what happened is I asked a question. I said, blue. And I thought, blue? I don't know much about chakras, but I know the throat chakra is blue.
It is.
And that's why we're sitting on a blue couch in my studio. I thought blue. So I said, okay, I invited this person. I said, come to me. What do you want me to know? And this blue man in my imagination said, you're going to fail. I'm worried that you're going to fail. And I said, I know enough now. Why don't you sit in the front row and watch me? And this energy came in. This sounds really esoteric and bizarre, but it's true.
I'm fine.
I have
It's a
synesthesia.
very esoteric podcast.
I have synesthesia, so I see sound and I sense energy. So this sort of thing waffled towards me and then went into my throat and settled like a warm sensation and then relaxed. And then it was the best show I've ever sung, the best show I've ever sung ever, because I had brought back that last piece of fear and worked through it, and I was free. And that was at 51. It's taken me that long.
That's incredible.
You know,
so something to then perfectly relay into something that I thought to myself would be interesting if we got here on the podcast, astrology wise. Kyra is an Aries sun and happened to still, it's interesting that you have an asteroid in astrology. It's called Chiron.
Oh, I've heard about this. I have had, yes. I've heard about Chiron.
So Chiron, just laugh out of like, I can't wait to talk about it. Not out of we're laughing about Chiron, but Chiron is also given the name the wounded healer.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we won't go into
that hits hard.
We won't go into the story of Chiron in this moment, but Chiron in your chart, where it was when you were born, is in Aries.
Interesting. So what does that mean?
What that means is you have been going through what is called your Chiron return in the past few years, because Chiron is still in Aries. It's actually one of the longer zodiac signs that we'll spend time in. And when we experience a Chiron return, we all do, and it's in our 50s-ish.
Interesting.
Yep. Everyone has one. And because for you, it's in a place that's next to your sun. If I see my Chiron is also next to my sun, you know, but in a different placement, it is a reckoning on healing ourselves, and that we then teach ourselves and how we've healed ourselves, our own identity, because our sun is linked to our identity. When we have done that, we naturally are the ones that are then teaching it to others.
Interesting. Yeah, that's very true for me. That's me on so many levels. Yeah, absolutely.
So you having your own self experience of knowing the part of your body that you work with, that you've lived to teach with, that you are having your own re-healing from the wound of which you have then been given in this life. Our astrology is also what we've been given. In that moment, this was only last year.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, that makes sense because Chiron was going through Aries.
Wild.
Right?
Wild. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. No, this is very interesting.
Isn't it cool?
So I have a question.
Please ask me.
So I do like to create, even though apparently I'm a generator. And I do feel, so what happens to me in my life is I'll get these urges. I can't explain it any other way.
Yeah.
It sounds dirty, but it isn't. I'll get this sort of like I feel like something's coming. I feel like I have to do something. I have to build something, or I have to create something new. And that's always been the impetus before I created my musical theater school for 7 years, or before I created my opera comedian brand and did that for 7 years, or before I did arts education. And there's always been sort of like I would say to people, I know something's coming. I just don't know what it is. And so I'm in that place right now where I feel like I need to create a new platform to do what I do, but on a larger scale. And I have a lot of resistance around that feeling because basically all I want to do is nap. Menopause, perimenopause. I'm not even in menopause yet. It's just anyway, it doesn't matter. My question is, if I were to use this modality to help guide me to understand what stage I'm at or when I can expect to be a great time to create something new.
Be like this now.
How would we do that? Yeah.
We can use a couple things. One thing I'll mention on like astrology things and timing. One thing that's happening right now that is super big for both you and I is, for me, I'm a Cancer rising. For you, with being a Libra rising, Cancer placements, and just like, I feel like I need to digress and do a bit of a teaching moment at the same time. The reason why we feel certain things shift and happen in our life, let alone if it's on 7-year cycles, is there will be planets transiting in certain areas of our life, just like the seasons of the year of spring, fall, winter, summer, that we feel change. There's energy of planets also affecting this change. For you and I right now, for myself, my identity, how I'm appearing to the world, Jupiter is in my first house. I am going through the best re-identity of things coming to me in the past 10 to 12 years ago. We're going to give that as like a big arc. For you, Cancer is your house of career.
Okay. So what does that mean?
What that means is Jupiter is the planet of expansion and blessing.
Okay.
You feeling like you're needing to create something new in work has been building for how long, would you say?
Probably like a year or so.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can feel transits of larger planets, as Jupiter is the largest planet, a year in advance. Now, as of literally this summer in June, Jupiter went into Cancer. And it's going to be there for an entire year. It's going to be there until next June. So we got lots of time to play with this.
Wow.
So you being like, holy shit, I need to do it now. When do I need to do it?
Yes.
Very Aries of like, I should do it yesterday. It's
so
okay.
true.
I have an Aries moon. It's fine. I get it. So now we know that, and we have this knowledge, okay, blessings of career, something's going to happen. We've already been feeling this. Now, the best piece about being a generator is we still have to wait to respond. And that's the thing that I hate telling people the most because I also live it. Of how do I go each day just thinking to myself, this is the thing I need to talk about. How do I go each day just knowing I actually have to go out my front door and just do the monotony of, in air quotes, life.
Yeah.
Until I see the thing I'm going to create. This is going to go cool on the synastry of our charts. I have looked at this and the parts of our charts that are like, so am I supposed to create anything with Kyra? I have thought about this. Don't know what. Currently, we're creating something. So my brain has gone to, I don't know, the fact that we're creating something, somebody hears it and then is like, I need to hire Kyra. Like those types of things have been like, okay, maybe that. Has there been, because you've created shows, you've created schools. Do you want to create anything on? I'm purposely asking you questions to see what you respond to.
Yeah, I started to create with one of my favorite collaborative artists, Kathy Nosati, who is just basically a genius and one of the best people on the planet. Her son was the one that wrote the anthem for my studio. And she and I worked together for 7 years at the musical theater school and worked in arts education for 20 years, basically. She and I are talking about maybe creating a community-based, like a opportunity for people to sing together. We're just not sure what that framework looks like. But then it had this, like the coordination of us getting together hasn't been working. The timing's not there yet. I do want to do some of what I do one-on-one in an interactive platform that is larger, like maybe get back to workshops or get back to creating a musical theater platform for adults to write their own musicals and collaborate with that in that way.
My brain just peaked on that of being like, whoa.
Yeah, it's really fun. I do have a student who wants to do that. So maybe I'll start with, what's the word? A small project and just get some, like a germ of an idea and get some adults together and see if this is something that's viable. But again, it's timing. I feel like the timing's not there yet. So I'm just waiting for that to come. But I also don't want to give too many words to it yet because words have power. And the minute I start articulating an idea, it can gain momentum. And I don't want it to be the wrong one, you know?
What piece do I want to think about it now, thinking about parts of your design? Yeah, I'll say this one. There's something in human design that's called profile. Profile is closely linked to personality as to how we perceive ourselves and how the world actually sees us.
Okay.
That could be humans around us, but also just how energy is interacting with us. We have a complete, you and I, our profiles on paper don't look like they mesh, but there are lots of other reasons why we get along.
We don't mesh? Is this?
No.
This is us not getting along.
No, not at all.
Okay.
But profile wise, it doesn't look like we're supposed to. Anyways, so your profile is what they call 2-4.
Such boring numbers.
That's boring.
I like prime numbers. I get it.
Mine's 1-3, so I don't know.
So 2-4. I'm like, although you know what? That's counter time. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I take it back. I'll take them as you were. You were talking. Go ahead.
2-4. How you? The first number is how you see yourself. The 2 is related to the word. I do not like it, but we have to use it in this moment. Hermit.
Okay, interesting. Now, is that lifelong? Is that a number that relates to the person lifelong? Interesting.
How I'm going to reframe it, I feel will suit you perfectly, is that 2 is energy that in yourself, how you see is sometimes just like, I need to be on my own in order to spawn this idea after you've been out in the world. How you get to your genius before you start giving things out or teaching or things like that is by doing it alone.
Yeah, no, I definitely, a lot of my creation, I have to do alone. And usually if I'm working with others, I'm spearheading and then I'm riffing off them, but I'm germinating the ideas and then playing it off them.
Definitely a very 2 vibe when the 2 is the first number.
Also, I like to be alone because I'm with people all day teaching and I'm listening actively for 6 to 7 hours. Yeah. After that, I'm like, no, you can't get me into the house. Once the bra is off, I am not leaving the house.
I'm not leaving.
No, it's
both like It's just a couch in the same energy.
Just to get back to your own groundedness, right? Because there is a lot of also extra sensitivity when you're working with people, and you kind of open yourself up and you absorb a lot of stuff. And so it's good to hermit down
and just
get
close
back
it
to
off
yourself.
for a hot sec. The 4 is also then so much use. And now I'm like, okay, this will be perfect for work. And 4 is how the world sees you. 4 is, they call it the opportunist. You are the people person, but to your people. So a lot, and it's interesting to how you found teaching was literally this woman was like, can you take this job for me because I'm leaving? And you did not know her.
Yeah.
Definitely something cool and karmic going on with that relationship. Who knows? But usually everything comes to, if someone has a 4 in their profile, comes to them through their people.
I don't advertise teaching, and I've only ever gotten students through recommendation. I've never advertised, and I have a waiting list.
Amazing. That's the 4 talking.
So that's true. My students always recommend students to me, and that's actually the only way I'll take students. I don't take them if it's a cold call. Sorry.
Sorry, not sorry. To randomly say something cool on this podcast, because sometimes I hope that she'll listen to it. Jenna Zoe, her profile's a 2-4. I reached out to her on Instagram when I was in Ibiza. Never heard back from her. She also has a blown up account. She's got almost 1 million followers, but she only works with her people, which is also fine. Jenna, I still love you, but of how we operate is very much based on this profile. You're creative, your work. You've already worked with this woman before. What's her name again?
Kathy Nosati.
Kathy Osati?
Nosati. Yeah.
Nosati. Amazing name. I wanted to get it right. So you've worked with her before.
Yeah.
So maybe it spawns, maybe she brings someone else in that then and
I have other friends who do this too. My husband's managing a fabulous female comedian who won magician who won Magician of the World. I was colluding 2 ideas. Her name is Carissa Hendricks, and her character is Lucy Darling. And she went viral on TikTok and went from booking $3,000 shows to $100,000 shows in a year. And her career is just taking off. And her team are people that she has grown up with, that she knows. That's her team.
I bet you her profile has got a 4 in there.
I bet. And Bruce, too, I mentioned a filmmaker friend of mine. He's the same way. When he does films, he always puts his friends in it. And he's always helping his friends, Yeah. So I see that with some of my artist friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not the way that everybody operates with a 1-3. There are few people in my life that have followed me. Valerie, the woman that we dance with, I've known her since I was 13, but because certain parts of my energy are very linked to my past, then they've come back. I trial and error everything that I work with. The way that this podcast has evolved has been a complete and utter, we're here, we're there. We don't know what we're doing, but we're still making cool shit. So it doesn't matter. It's incredible. I can't tell you how I would have figured out who to talk to, when, at what point. Let's just go on the podcast vibe. But as to my career in fitness and just, it has not looked like it's followed a trajectory with people that I know ever.
Interesting.
Ask me another question about when do I create and how do I do it?
Well, I like the idea of the 2-4 is really interesting. I guess stages of life. So
yeah,
I had to drop this idea that as you get older, you do more bigger things, or I had a beautiful mentor, Don Graves, who was my dean, who ended up being on the board when I was working in arts education. He said, you're turning 50, you need to start applying for jobs, like arts jobs now, because once you're past 50, no one will hire you. And I looked at him, I'm like,
what?
Why would I leave my favorite job to work in jobs I don't like? He wanted me to have security, and he wanted me to, and actually I have to say, it's really beautiful to have this framework with you to look back on my life and to actually go, I wasn't just a weird maverick. Actually, some of the stuff I did made sense, because at the time it just felt like I was an outsider and I wasn't in the game with everybody else. So I had to make my own thing, but it made me happy. So I did it anyway. But I always felt like I'm not like a typical opera singer. I'm actually just over here writing weird comedy shows, or like I always felt off the center, Yeah. But now it's really, really lovely looking back with this framework to go, actually, that makes sense that I did this. That makes sense.
Literally every piece of 1, your human design, and 2, astrology, to put those 2 things together, has shown, literally just me today. All I did was prep for probably half an hour.
Wow.
And thought to myself, 1, innovation. So I couldn't wait to tell you that. And 2, that the Chiron and Aries thing, when I was going to bring that up, I was like, oh my God, we're going to go deep today. 1, because also Mercury moved into Scorpio to say some cool things about astrology that's happening right now. in this moment today as we record. That's my nerdiness.
Mhm.
But the way as to which I see you expressing yourself in its authenticity for, again, how I am looking at you now with no bias of knowing nothing prior about you. I'm like, of course this is you. Of course it's innovative. It's leadership. It's not giving a two shits ass about what else anybody else could say about what I should do in order to have security in my 50s. We don't fucking know what tomorrow's going to bring. So
No.
how are we going to create security anyways?
Yeah. Yeah. And actually following this impulse or this framework unconsciously or consciously, however I was doing it, has led to incredible security, you know, actually. So I think I would say trust what the body is telling you to do, man. And the failing, like success is built on failure in the arts. So fail.
Yeah.
You will learn. And yeah, you'll surprise yourself. And I don't regret my failures. I look at them, I'm like, oh my God, but you will learn from that. And also, if you can really ask yourself what you want to do and do that thing, you won't regret it. You won't.
Okay. I haven't said this on a podcast yet. The only way is to which, with one major life thing that I've done so far, is to own a gym. I co-owned a gym. I don't know if I'd ever told you that.
No.
Okay. I co-owned a gym once.
Amazing.
5
Big
years.
thing to own.
I know. With a lot of other people. And I don't say that to like negate the like, what there were lots involved. But like, it was just a thing. The only way as to which that crossed my mind at that point in life is because somebody told me I was going to.
Oh, really?
And it was a psychic moment. It wasn't a blah, blah, blah. It was my very first manager, Kevin Throne. If you ever listen to this, thank you. Kevin Throne. And it was such an interesting exercise that I hadn't done with a group of other trainers that didn't really know me that well at this point. We all put in 3 nice things about each person that was there for that trainer meeting that day. We all put our things into a bucket and then we all read them about each other. And Kevin wrote, Frances is going to own a gym.
Wow.
This was like very fast into my PT career as well. Like I became a personal trainer at this gym January of 2015. There's maybe like a few months in. And I didn't know I was going to, until literally somebody said it. And then my body was like, oh, okay, I'm supposed to do that. And then somehow it came to be as to how that path happened. We don't know until either somebody says something, until we're put in front of something. And I mean, the rest is then history because then we just figure it out as we go along.
Well, one of my friends actually said to me, she goes, don't think small. Nancy Hitzig, she's an innovator and an incredible go-getter. And she has built herself an incredible life of travel. And she works in swing dance while she also runs arts organizations. And she's incredible. And she always looks at me and she's like, stop thinking small. Go big.
Go bigger.
So that's the next thing I have to do because that scares me, right? I'm like, okay, that scares me. I have to do it.
To go back to now full round on this fearless moment. I love how much you've brought it up just naturally. Again, folks, I didn't know that you had such an affinity to that word, and it's the name of my business, of course.
Of course.
Of course. Does being fearless mean any more? Does it have any more significance after this conversation?
Being fearless, I think what you've given me today, the gift of looking back with this framework on how I've lived my life, it's made me really happy. Made me really happy and made me go, okay, so don't doubt and don't let fear get in the way.
Yeah.
That's the big thing is don't let it get in the way, because when it does, and I see it on the microcosm with my students and myself, if fear is in the way, it puts you into a mental state of protection and shrinkage and contraction. And that is not where the juice is.
No.
Right? I think it's really nice to look back and go, oh, this wasn't ad hoc or just willy-nilly. There was actually a sense and a rhythm to it.
To this.
Yeah. And that gives me a little bit more courage to just keep on keeping on.
There's one last thing of like important things that I wrote down that I was like, this will pop in if it's supposed to. And I remember now. One thing out of your design, specifically in the human design, not astrology, I know I've been going back and forth, that is prominent to your energy is the number 50.
Oh.
My best friend has this, and I see similarities to how artists can sometimes speak about themselves because she's also an artist. Of all things, we won't go into Becky. Becky, I love you. But you both have this energy within you, and it's 50 is, in a very short way of saying, the ability to overcome inertia. The way I like to talk about 50 is that if someone embodies and has the gift 50, they know how to be their biggest self, but without overthinking. They just know. It's just this
yeah.
weird sense of, this is how I do this for me. This is how I be the biggest me.
Yep.
But the contraction of having that is that there's a fear of that. Will people accept how big, how much I want to be and do this thing in my life, whatever it is, how I want to parent, how I want to sing, how I want to create this project, because you know the best way to do it for you.
Yep.
But the other side of that energy is, oh my God, but if I do this, will people accept it?
Yes. And that has happened where I'll make this quick because it's the end of the show. When I wanted to feel heard because I wasn't feeling heard on a deep level, and that was one of my wounds, I wrote 20 minutes of a comedy opera interactive show with my friend. And we went to a conference and sold it to 30 soft seaters. And then I had to write the rest of it because I was like, I don't know if this is going to work or if this is even funny, but these are some funny things I think we could do. It could be fun. And I thought, this is so outrageous and weird. No one's going to go for this at all because I'm trying to get the audience to sing with me in 3 parts and get people on stage to improvise opera scenes with me. This is just never going to work. And my husband, who works in theater, like he's a huge theater guy. He founded Crow's Theater and he helped found the Fringe Festival. He looked at me and goes, this is never going to work. And so I was like, fucking, I'm going to go. So it's so stubborn, right? I'm like, yeah, but I did. And I ended up selling it to 31 soft seaters. And my friend and I went on tour for a year. And I was like, how did this happen? I'm getting 1,000 people to laugh their butts off at me on stage singing and getting them to sing and getting people trooping up on stage to sing with me. We would improvise an opera scene. I'm like, how did this happen? This is so much fun. Because, you know, like I had my influences and I love comedy. But I surprised myself that I wanted to do this thing and that it actually happened.
Yeah.
Right. And it was fun and it was weird. But I felt fully myself.
Right. So being fearless is fully yourself.
Fully yourself.
Fully yourself.
But fully yourself, you could be fully yourself and be terrified, but
yeah,
there's that.
Is being fully yourself and doing it anyway. And I feel like we've said it in different like ways for people of how, oh, it's okay, you're good. Of how we resonate with it, how other humans resonate with it. But fearless at the end of the day is how you feel the strongest, how you show up. Because everybody's strength is their own. Yeah. That's something that I have deeply embodied for myself and really try to teach others as well. And that we're already fearless. That took me a long time to realize in my business that that's what I was doing as a trainer. I'm just helping people feel already better than they should because they do feel good. They just need to be reminded that they are okay, that they are actually strong enough to pick up their kid. I'm just going to show them a more efficient way, or that, you know, whatever way they need the reminder that they're fearless that day.
We're both of us come to people and we're like, hey, I'm going to give you a different view of yourself so that you can bypass fear and barriers and so that you can step into your bigger self.
Yeah. We have kind of an awesome life doing it in the ways that we specialize.
Yeah, I wouldn't give it up. I wouldn't give it up for anything.
No. Lately I've been having, I know this will be the perfect way to wrap it up. Because when I walked in the door, she's like, how are you? I'm like, actually, no, I have nothing bad to say. A lot of people, we know shit happens to us every single day. I know I could pick out some stuff to say, but I'm actually doing great.
That's great.
Yeah. Why am I ending on that? Kyra, thank you so much for saying yes.
Oh, I love this. And I had nothing to say. We had nothing to talk about. It's really too bad. There were so many dead silences.
I love how we just like at certain moments we're like over top of each other.
I know.
Just flowed with it just fine.
Energy vibes. This was so fun. What a gift to have you read my chart and tell me about why I'm this way.
You're welcome. I am obsessed with it. I want to speak to people about it, but I also just want to have the conversations with humans that are exciting to just, I can tell when certain humans want to say things to the world. Maybe that's also because of your job. Regardless, I just feel like you are somebody that maybe it's stage of life that's just comfortable with being like, this is who I am.
Yeah.
I'm very much like that. So hence why I asked.
It's been fun. I'll be really curious to hear if anybody has thoughts about or questions about this podcast.
Yeah. If anybody ever wants to get in touch with Kyra, then I will put all ways in which to get in touch with you in the show notes. We maybe will be able to, no, I'm not going to sing it. I purposely was like, I am not going to sing.
What? Sing what? Sing what? Fearless. Like what? Sing what?
I always just end the podcast by reminding humans that we are fearless. So we are fearless. And then Kyra's going to sing something about fearless in this moment.
We are fearless. Go out and do that crazy thing. Yeah.
Okay, it's over now.
Okay, bye. How many endings did we have today?
But no.